the dreadful night of December the 21st, 1988, Lockerbie has been known internationally for the Lockerbie disaster. The bringing down of Pan Am Flight 103 with a loss of 270 people, including all of those on board, along with 11 inhabitants of the town. Lockerbie benefits from having the only railway station to remain open between Carstairs on the outskirts of the Central Belt and Carlisle just across the border in England. The station first opened in September 1847 when the Caledonian Railway drove their line north from Carlisle as far as Beatock. Lockerbie is a two-platform station, and the main station building, which you can see here on the northbound platform, was built by William Tite, and it's in the Tudor style. And it was William Tite who also designed and built the Citadel station in Carlisle in 1847. This £1.4 million footbridge and lifts were officially opened in 2008, and it acted as the catalyst for improved services at the station. This is because up until the time the footbridge was installed, disabled rail users had to travel on to Carlisle and get another train back to Lockerbie just to get out of the station. In fact, open access operator Grand Union Trains have submitted proposals which, if approved, would see the introduction of a new service between Stirling and London Euston, with 4 trains a day in each direction calling at Lockerbie. And looking even further ahead, it is planned that HS2 trains will serve Glasgow and Edinburgh with a stop at Lockerbie, using the existing rail network. Back in 1863, the role of Lockerbie Station was greatly enhanced with the opening of the Dumfries, Lochmaben and Lockerbie Railway, which connected the main line from here at Lockerbie to the Glasgow and South Western Railway at Dumfries. Sadly, this line was closed in the mid-1960s as part of the beaching reforms, and as a result there are large areas to the west and to the south of Dumfries and Galloway which are now completely devoid of railways. It's therefore very gratifying to hear about these future plans for improved services at Lockerbie Station, and it's going to greatly benefit the local community. Well, it's time to leave Lockerbie and to move on to my next destination, which is around 15 miles along the track from here towards Gretna Green at Quintinshill. It was here on the 22nd of May 1915 that 227 people were killed, along with 246 injured in a rail crash, which to this day remains Britain's worst rail disaster. The accident happened when a troop train that was carrying almost 500 soldiers of the Royal Scots en route to Gallipoli crashed into a stationary goods train, and an express train from London ran straight into the wreckage. Only around half of the soldiers on the train survived, and the precise death toll was never established with confidence, as some of the bodies were never recovered, having been wholly consumed by the fire, and the roll list of the regiment was also destroyed in the fire. The disaster occurred at the Quintinshill signal box, which was an intermediate box in a very remote location, and it was sited to control two passing loops, and you can see them here in this photograph. The troop train collided head-on with a stationary local train on the upline, and just over a minute later, a second northbound express train ran into the wreckage. The troop train consisted of 21 carriages, and the carriages back then were constructed of wood, unlike the steel-framed carriages of today. And there was gas stored in reservoirs underneath the train, which ruptured during the collision. Many men were trapped inside the burning train with no hope of escape. And to make matters worse, there were small arms and rifle shells in the luggage vans, exploded in the intense heat of the fire. The incident at Quintinshill never had the high public profile that many lesser incidents had, because it happened during the First World War, when press reporting was restricted. There's a memorial in place on the rail bridge very close to the scene of the incident, commemorating the deaths of the members of the 7th Royal Scots Regiment. The memorial reads, "No wreaths to commemorate our glory day, nor tears to be shed on this permanent way. Just flowers of the forest for youth in their prime, for the piper's lament stills the passage of time. No wreaths and no sorrow as memories unfold, just eternity's promise, they shall never grow old." And with that, my visit to Lockerbie and Quintinshill comes to an end, with both locations affected by such tragic events. Join me next time when I'll be back on the Cumbrian coast, exploring the railways of Ravenglass. I'll be travelling along the Ravenglass and Eskdale Railway, which is a 15-inch minimum gauge heritage railway. And it was built back in the 1870s to transport iron ore from free mines in the Eskdale Valley back to Ravenglass, where it connected to the Furness Railway. I'll also be checking out the main line station at Ravenglass, which is on the Cumbrian coast route between Carlisle and Barrow-in-Furness. The main line station sits alongside the Ravenglass and Eskdale Railway, which is the Lakeland's oldest, longest and most scenic railway. Ravenglass is the only coastal village within the Lake District National Park, and the majority of the village is classified as a conservation area. So join me at Larati, which in Old Cumbrian dialect is the Little Railway, in the next video.